In this Cars County Portal video, we're going to talk about cars and what you can do in cars, the functions you can perform, and how to navigate around the system. So the first thing here, when you log in, you will be on the dashboard maintenance. Every screen you're on will have a name, and it will be right here in the center of the screen at the top. Across the top, we have a few buttons. We have a home button, will always take you back to the dashboard screen. A previous button, very important to use this previous button rather than the back button in your browser. The previous is how you need to navigate through the system. And the log off button, those are the three buttons that are of interest to you. And then on the left-hand side of the screen here, we call this the left-hand navigation. So here's where we have the different functions you can perform in cars. So here I have alerts and messages. Surf has the ability to blast out messages to counties or certain contacts in the county, and those will show up here. It'll have a number if you have any. You just click to go read them. Then we break the information down into different pieces here. So we have the county information where we show you a county profile, participant information, and uploading some supplemental files. On the next section, we have payroll reports. So all of these are related to processing a payroll or making a deposit for that payroll or other fees. And the bottom section is forms, which will replace your Surf web forms that you may be familiar with submitting. In addition, we'll have a salary verification and deposit exception. So we'll go into those functions and talk about them a little bit. The other thing on this screen is the middle of the screen here has a few commonly used functions. So if you click payroll summary here, will take you to the exact same place if you click payroll summary in the left-hand navigation, and so on. So what we're going to do next is go into the county profile by clicking the left-hand navigation link for county profile. So now we're on the county maintenance screen, and here we show you some information that Surf has on file for your county. One thing to note over here, you can see who your contacts are at Surf. So the account contact for this county is Cynthia Campbell, and the benefit contact is Mary Holzman, so that you can see that right here. The next important bit of information is reporting frequency. So this is very important in the new CARS system where we classify each person by the payroll that they're on. So the system makes sure that we have all the payroll and salary hours and contributions for the people in a timely manner. So here we have semi-monthly, weekly, every 4 weeks, bi-weekly, and monthly. So you'll work with Surf to get that set up. But this is not something you can check. This will be something that the internal Surf staff will check, and you can see what they have on file for you. The next bit of information is county contacts. So here you can do some management of the contacts yourself. So if you know here the assessor has a new phone number, you can come in here and enter a phone number, click save, and now we have the information updated. If you need to add a new address, you can do that. If they change titles, you can add that here. The contact roles are something here that you will work with Surf to set up. These basically drive what functions you can perform in the system and what you can and can't see. So account contact would process payrolls, make deposits. Benefit contact would process forms. Administrative contact will update the county contact information, and the payment contact can actually make the deposits. So I'm going to go use my previous button to go back to the county maintenance screen. The next piece of information we show you is county contribution elections. So if your county is one of those that pays for a portion of your participant contributions, you can see that breakdown here. So here I'm going to click on one of these hyperlinks. So this particular election says all employees hired after 1/1 of 2015 will get 4% of their contributions paid. So in the election results section, we actually show you every person who that applies to. So that's a piece of information that you probably couldn't see before, and now it's made available to you. So I'm going to use my previous button to go back to the previous screen. The next section is bank information. So in cars, you can now make payments, and the payment will be submitted through via ACH through the banking process. So and pull money from the bank account. So one thing to note here is these bank accounts are for the person who is logged in. So say the county clerk and the county treasurer both make payments and they both use the same account, both the clerk and the treasurer will need to enter the same bank account because you will only see the ones that you have added. So that's one important item to note. Okay, so that is the county maintenance. The next thing is participant information. Click this left-hand navigation hyperlink. Here's where you can search for participants that are active in your county or who have terminated within the last 90 days. Once they've crossed that 90-day threshold, they won't show up in here anymore. But I clicked search, and I can search for all of the people who meet this criteria. You can also limit, based on your search results, you can do partial name searches in here, gender, date of birth, social, last four. You can search by any of those things. So one way to get into each of these records is by clicking the hyperlink individually, or you can select the boxes on the left, or you can choose the box at the top, which will select all of your records. Then you can click the open button. So now once I'm on the participant maintenance screen, I can see some demographic information about this employee. I can see start date, what department they're in, their employment status. I can submit employment change forms from here or terminate a non-vested employee from here. Additionally, we show service details, how much creditable service they have, is the person vested, and how many years of vesting service they have. And then you'll also see service, what we call service records down here. This particular one for membership service, the person started in November 2015. They have 3 months at this time and they're paying 6%. So this one is very simple, but if you had a person who had taken leaves of absence or medical leave or military leave, you'll see different lines for each stint of employment information. And then at the bottom, we show you the salary and hours that we have that are uploaded for this person. So once you upload your payroll and SURF makes it permanent to the system, that information will show up here in salary and hours. Okay, so that's participant information. In the payroll report section, we have payroll summary, header, detail. These all go together. So I'm going to click on payroll summary. Payroll summary is essentially your container for a given month. So I'm going to open up November here. So now I'm in a payroll summary maintenance screen, and this is for November 2015. The system will roll up all of the payroll reports that you've submitted for that month, and you'll see that in the payroll summary. So here we have $980 in county contributions, $530 in participant, for a grand total of $1,510. And as you go down the screen, we have payroll header records. So each one of the payroll headers is nothing more than a payroll report that when you pay your employees on a regular frequency. So however many you have in a month, they'll show up here. So the next section is validation information. We have a warning message here that tells us a payroll header is missing for each payroll reporting frequency associated with the county. Since this county reports semi-monthly, we expect at least 2 payrolls. So the system's just giving us a warning telling us maybe we're not done yet. Once you go into the payroll headers, you can see the payroll details. So the payroll details are nothing more than one individual row, either on that Excel file or that text file that you uploaded to get this information here. So here we have salary, hours, contributions. One thing to note is we have contributions that come from the file. Additionally, we have another label here that will calculate how much the system thinks the contribution should be based on the employment history of the participant. So if those don't match, you could get some error messages and things that you have to clear up. So the next thing you can do in the county portal is making a deposit. So this is simply, you click make a deposit hyperlink, and here you can look up all the deposits that you've previously submitted to SURF or create those new deposits. There's ACH pull. So those are some of the payroll reporting functions. Uploading files is exactly what it sounds like in the left-hand navigation. If you click Upload Files, this is where you go to upload those payroll files. File status is somewhere you can check if the payroll is in the process of being uploaded. It can take a minute or two, so if you really want to go check, you can check on file status. The next section is related to forms. So this replaces the SURF web forms. So we have an employment change, we have an employment change lookup. So the change will launch a wizard. I prefer looking up the participant first and making the change that way, but you can also start from here. Employment change lookup will look up the previous employment changes that you've done. Enrollment is exactly what it sounds like, where you go to enroll new employees and additionally look up any enrollments you've done since we've gone live with the CARS system. Salary verification will have two types of salary, an initial and a final, and those are just at different timings within a person's termination, depending on which one you submit there. And deposit exception. So if you're going to pay something different than what you owe, you can use this deposit exception form where it used to be paper. Now it's electronic, and you can submit that to SURF as well. So I'm going to click the home button to go back home. And now I'm on my dashboard maintenance again. And that is a basic overview of the functions you can perform in the CARS County portal and a little bit of how you navigate around the system.